Good morning and welcome to the County of Berrien. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Housekeeping before we get started, please silence or turn off during the that you wish to have do so by giving it to the environment. Commissioner Jim Kern left. During the appropriate times in the agenda, if you wish to address the board, you can do so by going to the podium, state your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes to address the board. With that being said, we have Commissioner Chokwe Pitchford, who's offering our invocation for today, followed up by the Pledge of Allegiance, which is being offered by Commissioner Julie Warfield. If you wish, please join with us.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, as we gather in this meeting, we come humbly before you, asking for your wisdom and understanding to guide us. Your word tells us in James 1:5, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So today, we seek that wisdom, Lord, trusting that you will grant us the insight we need to navigate the decisions ahead. Please watch over our men and service women in uniform, children that find themselves in abusive homes, and please reach down and spread your love across the United States of America. These and all blessings we ask in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both. All right, roll call.
Bell?
Here.
Curran?
Here.
Freeling?
Here.
Harrison?
Here.
Hinkleman? Pitchford?
Present.
Tyler? Here. Bullrat?
Here.
Werfel?
Here.
Yarborough?
Yes.
Elliott, you have 11 present and 1 absent.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from May 8th.
Make that motion.
Moved by Commissioner Pitchford, supported by Commissioner Ott. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Requisition review.
Good morning. I placed in your spots today the addition of the fuel bid results on the requisition list. That is an estimated amount for the average thousands of gallons that they purchase every year. So that is added on there. Does anybody have any questions about that or any other requisitions on the list?
Annette, can you clarify who is using the fuel bid?
Who, what?
Which department that's for?
Road department, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for the requisition list before it goes around? It is also on our consent agenda for approval of that, including a resolution for that fuel contract, which is in front of all of us, but I think that we had received the draft version of it in our board packet. So that'll make its way around and be considered for all of us in the consent calendar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Annette. Moving on in the agenda, we come to the public comment portion for any of the resolutions that we have in our consent calendar. Oh, I skipped communications. Marked it right off and walked right over it. Sorry, Stacy, and I know we have some.
We have one from Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, a walk in the gardens, meet Fernwood's new executive director. It was email received on 5/8, and that is all your communications.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. And I assume everybody received that communication. And now we come to that portion of public comments regarding any resolutions in our board packet. If there's anyone from the public that wishes to address the board, now's the time to do so. All right, seeing none, we'll close the public comment. And now we come to the consent calendar. I've not had anyone request anything to be pulled. We have one added resolution, and that is the fuel contract for the road department that we just considered for requisition as well. So is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So made.
Moved by Commissioner Pitchford. Is there support? Support is Commissioner Bell. Okay.
May I say something?
Yes, discussion.
Thank you. I would just like to thank Annette for the resolution that she wrote for me, and I just want to let you know that my church, Second Baptist Church of Benton Harbor, Michigan,
Mhm.
is 150 years old, and we're still praying. So I just wanted to say thank you, and,
They have a celebration coming up this
oh,
week,
yes,
right?
it's Friday night.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow night.
And
It's
you'll-
tomorrow night.
You present this then,
Yes, I will. I will present this. Thank you.
for consideration then. Is there any other comments, discussions for any of the items on the consent calendar? All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Pittsford,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Borat,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Beth.
Yes.
Thank you. Those items have been approved. Now we come to committee reports, and if you are ready, we will start with the Personnel and Human Service Committee. Commissioner Harrison?
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. We met this morning. I had a number of standard items on our agenda. We reviewed the monthly vacancy report. This would be the one for April. And noted, some not significant changes between March's report and April's. We also reviewed and approved the pension refunds and rollovers. And then we had 3 resolutions that we considered and we'll be sending to you at the next meeting. One regarding GIS, a purchase order for the GIS system, the enterprise system. A second regarding solicitation on county property, and the third regarding Riverwood and efforts by the state to not fully fund mental health services. So we did approve all of those and send them to you for your next meeting. We then had a discussion about issues involving the senior millage and talked through gathering some data from Linda Healy, the CPA that does a lot of the work, as well as Annette Christie. So we had good discussion about that. And that actually concluded our meeting.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for personnel from anyone around the horn? No? All right, we'll move on to administration.
Thank you.
Commissioner Kern?
We had Daniel B in to see us along with Don Trail. They're going over all the plans for this building for the remodel. We had a good discussion, good participation. We had 4 of the electeds that are occupying this building. Register of Deeds, the Drain Commissioner, the Treasurer, and the County Clerk. We ran out of time because we had to finish our committee business. So we only recessed, and we are going to reconvene the administration committee after the Board of Commissioners meeting. So if anyone does want to stay around and hear the remainder of it, we will reconvene after this meeting. We do have some resolutions for you the next time we get together. Resolution ending in 222. This is an update to the animal control ordinance. It hasn't been updated since we did the separation between enforcement and kennel. And so our corporate counsel rewrote the ordinance and brought it up to date for us. There are 3 resolutions, 27, 28, and 29. These are from the state court administrator where the court applies for funding. It's annual funding that they do every year. So there's 3 of those from the court. Resolution ending in 31. This is for a lease agreement for building and grounds for Pitney Bowes. Resolution ending in 232. The road department gets reimbursed from the state $10,000 every year. That's to accept the $10,000. Resolutions ending in 33, 34, and 35. These are speed studies requested by Lincoln Charter Township, Lincoln Charter Township, and Lincoln Charter Township. They are asking for a speed study on Glenlord Road from Red Arrow Highway to Lake Forest Path. They're asking for a speed study on Washington Road from Glenlord Road to John Beers Road. And they're asking for a speed study on Ridge Road from Glenlord Road to Marquette Wood Road. So those 3 resolutions are to get those processes in motion, and that is our report.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions for Edmund?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
for anyone who has interest in seeing a hard copy of the animal control ordinance, the draft, if you could please let me or let Annette know. We will get that into your hands, but this is one that the intent is to move it forward to the next board meeting. So if you need help, please let me know or let Annette know. Thank you.
And then for those who are not aware, as an ordinance, it requires a public notice, 30 days for it to be reviewed for being open for comment in that way, and then be considered by this board. Are there any other questions, comments for admin before we move on to finance? All right, so moving on to finance, Commissioner Yarbrough.
Thank you. We had our committee meeting. We didn't accept the minutes.
We did.
Oh, good. We accepted the minutes from the last meeting on the 8th. And I'd like to say that we had a bid and it was opened in your committee for the gas. And it's with the same company that we've been using for a while now. The price has been a good price. And then we had some waivers. We had 6 waivers. And one was for Mike and Sons for a Bosch snowplow. The one was for the Environmental Systems Research Institute for GIS software. That's for do our aerials and all, or have them done. Alta Equipment Company, a replacement part for an Athe loader. Pitney Bowes, NASPO Value Point, or anyway, stamps. And Pitney Bowes again. And then one waiver from Motorola Solutions, and that was for mobile and portable radio replacements to the Sheriff's Department. One other thing that I want to let you know that we have a resolution that that will be presented next week, and it is about our millages and things. And I'd like to let you know that what's the gentleman? Warren will come in and explain it to us. And I'd like to let you know that it could be at the 8:35 a.m. committee of the whole meeting, or it could be at our regular meeting at 10:30. And I'd like very much, Mr. Prouser, for you to know about this. It is the millage, and with the work that we do in the Headley Act and all of that, the millages have gone down. And I'm going to give you this resolution so you can look at it and have a better understanding of it. That is my report.
Thank you for that report. Are there any questions or comments from members of the board related to the update from finance? Members of the board. All right, thank you for that update.
You're welcome.
Please. We move on to the next part of our agenda, and that is commissioner reports. John, I'm going to start with you. Stokely.
Backwards here. This morning, I had the opportunity to go to the Disability Action Network breakfast. Absolutely amazing organization that is doing a lot of good work in the community. Their big campaign this year was the #D word. Disability is not a bad word. Got to hear from a lot of stories, a lot of individuals who have been touched by that organization. So I wanted to give them a public shout out and kudos for just continuing to keep up the good fight. June is Men's Health Month, and I am starting a challenge that I would like anybody else on the board or in the audience to know that President Pillars, Executive Director James Gunter, is doing a 1-month Men's Health Month challenge. So you're going to do your weigh-in. I'll do my weigh-in on May 30th, and then you've got 30 days throughout the month of June. And the person that has the largest percentage difference in weight or body mass is going to win $500 in a 6 months membership to the Renaissance Athletic Club. So I'm going to be participating in that, not necessarily to win it, just because Lauren has told me I have a dad bod now, and I took that very personally.
Are women allowed in there?
I think it's just for men.
Oh, okay, you guys. Just teasing you. right, the permeable is complete.
Yeah.
Your report
Last
is a-
thing, we have our NACO annual meeting in Pennsylvania in July. It's going to be where we elect a new president. So the way that their system works is the first vice chair and the second vice chair then move into the president and vice president role. So JD Clark from Texas will be the new president of the National Association of Counties. And at that meeting, we will either, elect new board of directors members. Hopefully I'm reappointed to the board. We get new committee assignments. So I'm going to be excited to be there. And that is my report.
No report.
No report.
I don't have a report, but I just want to say I was at the Pipestone or at Indian Lake Golf Course yesterday, and I was chatting with a guy who was putting the carts away and things. And asked me where I lived, and I told him I was a commissioner on this side of the street, because Indian Lake, it's, on County Line Road. Oh, he says, oh, I said, that's where I live. He says, Pipestone Lake. I said, oh, how's, you got a boat ramp there? He said, I just put my boat in a couple days ago. I said, how'd that go? He says, oh, my boat's not very big and it's not that hard. He says, I'm a little worried they're gonna put a new boat ramp and they're gonna have all these big boats coming in there. And then I explained to him how, so it was kind of cool to run into somebody like that. But he was very happy to have that being done. And I said, how come it wasn't done about 15 years ago? He said, well, people out here. But I thought that was interesting, so.
And just as a follow-up to that, we've got confirmation now from MDNR. June 2nd is their official start date for that ramp repair. So road department is confirmed. They will coordinate with them. Township is aware. Believe that was communicated to the township board on Monday night's meeting. So this will be great to have it in the rear view.
Everything was rolling and just a matter of DNR and different things.
Yep.
No report.
I attended the CEO council last Friday and then Lincoln Township board meeting last night. And then I would be glad to share my address in South Philly with you if you go to the annual meeting for NACO. My only suggestion would be make sure you lock your car doors as you drive down there.
Sounds lovely. I attended this week, I had the Connexus investment meeting, went over budgets for next year. MAC Environmental, Ag and Tourism, finishing up platforms on that committee. Attended CEO meeting last week where we received a very nice how to determine rates presentation from a very enthusiastic engineer / CPA. I'll leave it at that. And then yesterday I attended very fun event at the Historical Society, the mock trial for the St. Joe High School law department. I was a jury member and that was very fun.
Yeah.
Good meeting and good, what was he talking about, plants or something, whatever. It was a good meeting, well attended. Thank you.
Is there any announcement you have about Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock?
Thank you so much. I want to tell you that the Charles L. Yarborough Mickey Park is being rededicated. It's going to be from 3 to 4 o'clock at the Charles Yarborough Park. And it's being, the grounds and the memorial and the bathroom, there's a bathroom that's brick and it's not going to be turned over or anything, so don't worry. And there is such a need for that. The park has been worked on by the city of Benton Harbor and Whirlpool Foundation. And I certainly thank them for it. And if you get a chance, it's a very short, an hour dedication for Charles L. Yarborough Memorial Park. Thank you.
Great reminder. Just briefly, we did have a BC BIT meeting.
Yes.
On Thursday. It's just the week was such a whirlwind, you forgot or just assumed I report out on it, right? So we just got a brief update on where everything is for construction for MEC. They're plugging along. They've completed most of what they have had on schedule. Glean is about to go completely live. We were able to report to Jerry Mast, for those who remember, he was an advocate of ours down in the Glean area, but we had been waiting for an Amtrak permit to allow us to do the overhead crossing, and they finally got it. So north of the track in Galeen will finally be able to go live, which is fantastic. Still waiting on the BEAD grant submissions. We are still trying to figure out who all has applied and what that might look like. So more to come on that. I do know that there's been some discussion on funding and whether or not it will continue to move forward. Michigan continues to proceed with BEAD grant applications and the funding that they have as though it is gonna continue to move forward. Just looking at my notes here. I don't know if there was anything more.
That covers it.
It was a fairly quick meeting just because we're still in the construction portion of it. And then we had a county planning commission meeting, and that was fairly benign. We did have one of our planning commissioners have to step down just because of obligations and more commitments in his life. So Gary Wood, many of you know him. He's been a strong advocate for our trail system, is stepping down from our planning commission. And so there is a vacancy there. But I do know we had a number of applications that were received just recently. And so we'll likely be reviewing those next week. Thank you. We had two items of business. One was rezoning for Lincoln Charter Township. For those that know the Snowflake Motel, that land needed a portion of it needed to be rezoned in order for them to do some high density apartments, correct? I think that's the correct project. And then Niles Charter Township, they had some amendments, language for essential service and the definition of that. And actually the planning commission came back with not agreeing with the language and sent that on with our comments about power generation, whether it's alternative power or not, is technically an essential service because it benefits the public. And so those were our comments that we had presented. If there's any further questions on that, feel free to ask me and I'll do my best to answer it. But Katie Montoya or Dan Fetty would also be a great resource from community development. Outside of that, that's my report as a commissioner. And so we'll move on to administrator report.
So just one last reminder, today at 12 o'clock is the Law Enforcement Memorial. It'll be just 2 blocks from this building, head west on the top of the bluff. The admin committee, thank you for spending the amount of time that you did this morning. Thank you for agreeing to stay and continue the discussions about the security upgrades for this building. If you take a drive by Silver Beach, you'll see that the Parks Department, that lane extension is well underway. That construction is occurring. So we are getting ready for the start of the season. And then lastly, since he's in the room and I really like seeing him blush. So Don Trail is here. Don's staff are the people that have got the county's grounds just looking beautiful. So as you leave today, just take a moment to look at the flowers, the mulch, the yards. It's really, really good work. And it's one that I caught Don yesterday with a shovel. He was assisting with the mulch installation.
He is really squirming back there. He really doesn't like to be
I know.
called out.
So you can see his reaction to praise, but with sincerity, you've got a really hardworking team, and I love that they take so much pride in how they present the public building. So well done. Those are my comments.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
We now come to that portion of the agenda for general public comments. Anything that the public wishes to address the board on, they can do so now. Yes, sir. Thank you for being patient and waiting.
Sir Hager. No, the reason I raised my hand over there, I think we should have a right to question those guys, instead of him bringing all those, whatever, your next meeting in, he's gonna have all those, what do you call them? Resolutions, yeah. But anyway, the next week he's gonna bring them all in here. By that time, you guys put them on this and you vote for them. We can't say a damn thing. So keep that in mind. I don't know. you guys make your own rules. I don't like that either. Since I wasn't here last week, I was kind of sick. Now, I like to get the 2 minutes from last week to 2 minutes today. They'll give me 4 minutes. No, you don't buy that either, do you? Okay. Now, the fountain. Now, brother Bob over there showed me a picture of the fountain that I suggested you put over there. And he happened to find a picture of it. Now, I told you that I bought one of those for the senior center out there. And those people are thanking me left and right. No, even though they bring that 5 gallon or 2 gallons, 3 gallons of water in there for the cups. So, but you guys don't want to spend an extra $100 or $500 to put that in there. You know, you save yourself all kinds of money. Because the people working here, they fill up their water bottle, right? Instead of bringing a bottle from home or taking a bottle here. And another thing is, I like to see the employees wearing badges. So I know there's people coming in here, I don't know who they are. I like a dumbass, I ask them who they are. I don't want to keep doing that all the time.
2 minutes, sir.
When I was in high school, we had to wear them. I don't see how you guys get away with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peltzer. Your comments are appreciated. And we're glad to know you're feeling better. Yeah, indeed. Next item on the agenda. Oh, is there other? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm so sorry.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Jonathan DeWitt. I'm a resident of Benton Township, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you this morning. I support public safety and law enforcement with a history of it in my family even, but I have concerns about the county's contract with a company called Flock Safety. This is a private surveillance system that shares license plate data with police and raises important questions about transparency, privacy, and oversight really in general. I reviewed the March resolution from last year, which approved a 5-year contract funded by the public safety millage. The only stated justification then was that, quote, the sheriff has found the cameras helpful, end quote, with no data or public discussion presented. I asked the board to ensure accountability by publishing the contract and policies on data use and retention, providing an annual public report on how the system is used and any issues, and holding possibly a public hearing before any renewal or expansion. Protecting civil liberties and public safety are both essential, and we deserve transparency when private surveillance is involved. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. DeWitt. Appreciate your comments. Are there any other public comments at this time? All right, hearing none. We'll close that portion of the agenda and again, appreciate those public comments. On to other business. Is there any other business to come before the board? No. All right, announcements and reminders. Again, there is the Peace Officers Memorial at noon. There will be the admin committee meeting will resume here in this room when we adjourn. And county facilities will be closed on Monday, May 26th in observance of Memorial Day. And then there is no board meetings on May 29th because it's a 5th Thursday.
As it relates to the 5th Thursday, there will not be a board meeting, but there will be a trust investment meeting that day. It's 12 o'clock and it'll be in the Ken Wenzel conference room. So trust investment is the 5th Thursday at noon.
And that is a subcommittee of the Finance Committee, and it relates to our pension that we have here at the county. So with that being said, we stand adjourned.